Wow. That's pretty scary, actually. It looks more like a dropship, though. Doesn't really seem like the sort of thing that you would use in space. Hello! Oh. Okay. Right. They've got 7 Vontours. 5 Voracious.
There they are.
Maybe we just go ahead and let them have this, actually. Holy cow! All hands, pull back, all the way, as far back as you can.
Engage.
Good heavens. I guess they're tired of our nonsense.
Visual scanning. Yes, Commander.
Hello?
Order received.
Come on.
Proceed.
Come on.
Squadron, move out.
Click the button and it doesn't do anything. That's
Endurance class at your disposal.
to be honest, it might well be my mouse.
Fall out.
I'm not going to say no
Roger.
to doing a bunch of damage with our bombers before getting out of here. I am going to get out of here,
Roger
but
that. Form up.
we have a lot of bombers.
Sweeping area. Ready.
Okay. Priority targets. Let's
Awaiting orders.
Do they have any corvettes in the front? No, but they have some back here. Oh, those are... I thought those were way bigger for some reason. Does hey heavy cruiser, after all. He's lying. Okay. I think these guys are gonna have to go.
Attacking target.
Those guys can... We don't need to destroy it. We can just cripple the thing. So that should be fine. Okay, that's one. I'm gonna go for... It's all light turbo lasers. Yeah, let's go for this one next.
Taking out the missile.
Okie dokie. Not gonna wait for everyone to
Copy.
form up or anything. We're just gonna go for it.
Fire at will.
You guys take them out.
Scanning for
Let
enemy.
people get through.
Stay in attack
Oh boy.
formation. Hold on.
That is so many bombs, and we're not even holy cow.
Switch pattern. I've lost engine 2.
Oh my
I copy.
gosh. That was horrifying. Let's do it again.
Attacking the launch bay.
No, I already targeted
Take
that.
out those.
Okay, everybody else go for this one.
Take out the missiles.
Oh, that was a half.
Target those lasers.
Jimbo lasers.
lasers. Hit the missile bays. The laser banks are your primary target.
Go ahead and make
Hit
sure
the
we get the
engines.
engines.
Get the launch bay.
Fighter bay.
Taking out the missile
Cushion
Target those
missiles.
lasers. The laser banks are your primary target. Target those lasers.
Go for this, I guess.
Take out those missile bays. Beginning run on missile bays.
If you guys could possibly. Oh, we're getting some slowdowns here. Can't imagine why. Jeez. Thing is, they've actually got a lot of fighter cover. Like, most of their things do drop at least something. So like, you know, we're there's a lot of stuff going on. Like, there is a lot of stuff going on.
Awaiting orders. Best
You
possible speed.
you
Stay in attack formation. Watch your six. Maximum fire. Enemy spotted. Yes, sir. Stay in attack formation. Target confirmed. Attack formation.
oh my,
That's it? Scratch one. Yes, Commander.
that's just like actually kind of terrifying.
Ready.
The amount of damage we've just done in 2 quick passes without even breaking off for reforming or anything like that. Man, that's scary. I'm tempted to go for one of these. At the same time, in terms of raw casualty numbers, we would probably get more out of targeting these cruisers. Yeah, let's
Going for the lasers.
try
The
to
laser
make
banks are your
sure
primary target.
we do as much proper damage as possible.
Going for their lasers.
Hitting the ion
Because
cannon banks.
we're not going to get through this fleet. It's just not possible. Doesn't matter how much damage we've done in the first pass. It does not matter. They've got so many
Enemy
ships.
fighters in
Going
range.
for the ion cannons.
Squadron reporting.
Like, this is...
It's as good as gone. I've got a fix. Stay in attack formation.
I think they only had 6 of these, if I remember correctly. So we should remove their anti-fighter cover relatively straightforwardly.
Hold on. Try not to let one on your tail.
Whoa, in stereo.
Target those lasers. The lasers are our target.
If you guys could, like,
Right away. Orbital command
get in a little closer.
Open fire on those laser
Okay,
cannons.
all of
Your
these
orders?
bombers can go ahead and... maybe we go for that one instead. No.
Target those lasers. The laser banks are your primary target.
I
Target those lasers.
I don't understand why
Laser
it
banks
does
are your
this.
primary
If you
target.
watch
Target those lasers.
watch the order of things, it's
Attacking the ion cannons.
Take out those ion
it's not
cannons.
quite randomizing, but it's not quite
Target those
flipping
lasers.
it back to
The laser
front
banks are your
either.
primary target.
Is just
the
very
primary engines.
strange. I don't understand it, but it's super
Fire.
annoying. When you're anytime you're dealing with
Ready
all
for
of that
action.
stuff, like, good grief.
Enemy unit disabled.
Why are you still so far forward?
Endurance on
Go,
station.
go, further, 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 further. Get away from the front.
Watch your six. Stay in attack formation. Get him off me. Stay in attack formation.
Yep, there goes that.
Standing by.
Do you see any more corvettes? Anybody? I'm gonna say nah,
Fire
so
at will.
get in there and defend the bombers,
Ready for
because the
orders.
bombers are what are gonna make this, like, actually, to be honest, the amount of damage we've already done is sufficient. I'm happy. So at this point, it's just
Disabling their engines.
Stay on
gravy on
target.
top.
Target those lasers. Starting my run.
Nah, shoot. I didn't realize we had some fighters in that group.
Reporting in.
We don't anymore. What? Whatever.
Ready for command.
Let me just do this again. Grab the group
Let's do some damage.
itself. I might be
The laser
giving them
banks
a
are your
little
primary
too much credit. The Z95s.
Target those lasers.
I've been having them go
Going for
one
their
per
Take out the missiles.
hard
Targeting
point,
the
but that might
missiles.
not be enough,
Destroy
especially
the
for a
launch
ship
bay.
of this sort of
Target those
size.
The missile base.
The rest of you can
Training
go ahead and
course
bomb
to
that.
intercept.
Maybe that. Maybe that. Yeah, let's go for that.
Beginning run on missiles.
Our target
We're doing
priority is the
so
laser
much
cannon.
damage to them so far out from stuff that this thing hasn't even gotten, like,
Try not to let one on your tail.
anything.
I've got it lined up.
I probably should have pulled this whole group further back, to be
Three, two,
honest.
full throttle.
I still could for some of this.
That's it.
You're done for, but that's...
Directing all fire at the missile launchers.
Should we go around
Ooh,
another
the
pass?
slowdown. The slowdown is real. Is very real. Whoop. Too far. They're starting to trickle in a little bit. I just want to make sure that I get any corvettes.
Attack.
This thing is about to evaporate.
I'm with you. Stay in attack formation. Stay in attack formation.
Primary drive system is down.
Probably should send something to finish that off. I did say we need to make sure that we get
Frigate reporting.
as much as possible.
Yes, sir.
Get 'em off me.
Copy, sir. Try not to let one on your tail.
Okay, it was maybe the wrong choice to have you do that.
Someone cover me.
You calling for me?
You two.
Fire.
Two Z95s. Did you see that? That time it didn't even flip at all. They stayed on this side. I don't understand it. That thing is that destroyed? I think that's destroyed. It's not coming in, right? Considering the fire pouring out of it. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and assume. I mean, that destroyer just got absolutely evaporated. Maybe we go for the next one. Maybe we'll go for this. We're doing so much damage at this point that, like, they might even consider just leaving outright.
Take out the missiles.
So I'm gonna
Target those
continue
lasers.
pushing
Target those lasers.
Going for their lasers.
The laser banks are your primary target.
until the
Target those
Golan
lasers.
goes down. I think
Target those lasers.
we just keep
Going for their lasers.
The laser banks are
putting
your
the
primary
pressure
target.
on them.
Take
Your engines.
And then you four, gee, I don't know. Shoot this.
Hitting the ion cannon banks.
Take out the shoot. No, go for yeah, go for this thing.
Take out those missile bays. Beginning run on missile bays. Target those lasers.
Weapons armed.
You also shoot
The
at
lasers
that,
are our target.
if you would be so kind.
Decrease to full throttle. Need to break off. Decrease to full throttle.
No, man.
Decrease to full throttle.
Engaging the enemy.
I'm in range. Should we go around for another pass?
Oh man, look at all of those bombs heading in for that destroyer.
Decrease to full throttle.
That
We've
Vontor.
disabled our lasers.
Try not to let one on your tail.
I've got him lined up.
Stay in attack formation. Should we go around for another
And there's
pass?
another carrier coming in,
Stay in attack
right in the
formation.
middle.
Countering resistance.
Ready for action.
Should we go around for another pass?
That
Open
one.
fire on those laser cannons.
Actually, can you reach
Our
that guy
target
over
priority
there?
is the laser cannons.
Probably not.
Station ready.
Never mind. Go ahead and...
Disable those ion cannons.
Yeah, maybe the ion cannons is the
Roger
right
that.
choice. You guys seem to be doing just fine for the most part. Got another squadron coming in over there. We are sufficiently pulled back that I feel
Roger that.
relatively safe.
Corona class frigate reporting.
Form up.
I don't want to give you guys orders
Orbital
because I don't want
command
you to move any further forward. That Vontor is basically eradicated. Gonna give it a couple more seconds though. Let the next few passes go through.
Watch your six. Rendezvous at Mark 6.1.
These things do actually have
Withdrawing
pretty
your fire.
substantial
Let one on your
firepower.
tail.
Heavy dual turbo lasers, medium quad lasers.
Anything to help, sir.
At this point,
Destroy the launch bay.
I kind of wish that these
The
ships
laser banks are your
had
primary target.
more variety in weapons, purely because that is
Stay in attack formation.
very repetitive to hear constantly.
Draw their fire.
Destroy the lasers, destroy the lasers, shoot the lasers, 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 lasers.
Stay in attack formation.
Ready to fire.
Okay, just fire, fire, fire.
Watch your six.
Stay in attack formation.
I need help.
Stay in attack formation. Rendezvous at try not to let one of you see him. I'm in range. Watch your six.
Corona-class frigate report.
Oh my gosh,
Stay in attack
that's
formation.
just
I'm in range.
terrifying.
I'm in range. Disabled. Stay in attack formation.
Space station
Try not to
under
let one
attack.
of
Like,
you fail.
genuinely terrifying. Okay, we need someone to go. Oh, never mind. There was still enough. Those Z95s are actually still doing quite a bit of work.
Increase to full throttle.
Okay, they are indeed. Okay then. This one I don't like the angle on him. I feel like that's headed in this sort of direction, and how about not?
Attack that target.
That one is down. That Vontor's down. What? You have not many shields left. Ooh, probably should destroy that. No, we need to. I don't.
Attacking target.
Target those lasers.
Push them back.
those
Push
lasers.
their whole front line
Going for their
back.
Confirmed.
Going
Um,
for their lasers.
Target those lasers.
feel like I
The laser
might
banks are your primary target.
have missed a couple here.
Target those lasers. The laser banks are your primary target. Hit the engines.
I'm not entirely sure, but I might have.
I've been hit.
Stay in attack formation.
Try and help out. Take the shields down, because that's what's gonna slow these guys down. The bombers.
Should we go around for
It's
another
kind of
pass?
the only thing that's gonna slow them down.
The laser can. Should we go around for another pass? Formation. Enemy unit disabled. Direct fire on the engine.
Here we go. You might be able to hit that. I'm not entirely sure. Yep.
I've got my approach.
Get a couple of things out there.
Stay in attack formation. Point one.
That's got him.
Medium turbo laser, and then I guess this.
Fire on that launch bay. Attack formation.
Oh my,
I'm on them.
jeez.
I copy.
Okay, next. This feels like cheating, but
Fire
like,
at will.
Target those lasers.
Target those lasers.
Going for their lasers.
I'm not
the
gonna
launch
say
bay.
no.
Target those lasers.
The thing is,
Destroy
they're
the
not,
launch bay.
they're
Going for
not,
their lasers.
as far as I can
The laser
tell,
banks are your primary target.
really targeting the Golan much. So like,
Target those lasers.
I guess we
Target
carry
those
on.
lasers.
I did say
The laser banks are your primary
we
target.
wait until the Golan goes down, and
Target those lasers.
Golan hasn't gone down.
Confirmed. Launch bay is the primary target.
Going for the launch bay.
We've got to be running
Laser
out of
banks are your primary
fighters
target.
or bombers and fighters at this
Target
point.
those lasers.
Surely. I don't think I got
the laser
that one.
banks are your primary target. Target those lasers. Target the primary engines.
Reporting.
Like, surely we're getting to the point where we can't keep doing this, right?
I'm in range. Decrease to full throttle. Formation. Enemy unit disabled. Stay in attack formation. Stay in attack formation.
Oh, they still have so many freaking ships.
Enemy unit disabled. Shields are down. One on me. Decrease to full throttle. I'm in range. Should we go around for another pass? Hold on. Swinging around. Attack formation. Stay in attack formation. Enemy unit disabled. Got one. Try not to let one on
Station
your mail.
damaged.
Dude,
Yes, sir. Yes, Commander.
this is absurd.
Ready.
The amount of damage we've done at this point is just
Squadron
nuts.
reporting. Standing by.
Do we have... Nobody has even launched reserves. Are
Bombers
you
reporting in.
serious? How is this possible? I know how this is possible, because they only sent in 6 corvettes. If they had had a decent number of corvettes, this would have been very different. As things are currently, our fighters are tying up their fighters and bombers and letting our bombers kind of just run amok. Probably should go for the next Vaughn tour, I think. No, this one's shields are almost down. We'll go for this. Yeah, because like 9,000 shields, 6,500 shields, it would just slow them down so much more, whereas this one... Well, this one would slow them down so much more that they wouldn't destroy it in one pass. And I'm pretty sure we've got to be getting to the point where we don't have enough bombers in the squadrons to keep this up for too much longer. He says as another Voracious just gets eaten.
I've got my approach vector. Roger that.
Let's go ahead with the next Voracious. I'm not going to pause. At this point, like, it is starting to feel a little bit cheesy.
The laser banks are your primary target. Target those lasers.
Going for their lasers.
Hold on. The laser banks are your primary target.
Target those lasers.
Hold on. Target those lasers.
Going for their lasers.
Attack formation.
Target those lasers. Going for their lasers.
Should we go around for another pass?
Target those lasers.
Point 1.
Going for the launch bay. Disable their launch bay.
I'm in range. Rendezvous.
Go ahead and take this thing out, will you? At the very least, take out the engines. I'm noticing things aren't moving a whole lot, which... Oh, okay, these guys have gotten in closer than I thought.
Watch your 6. I'm in range. I'll try and draw
Hit the engines.
Stay in attack formation. I'm in range.
I genuinely didn't think that was going to happen. They had so many freaking ships.
Stay in attack formation.
But again, they just didn't have the Corvette cover. There were only 4 warlords? I thought for sure they sent 6, but I guess they only had that many on the battlefield. I think, overall, this was a really good fleet layout if they were up against any other of our fleets. Like, if they were up against... Let's see, and the super ships would not have fared very well at all. They had so much fighter and bomber cover of their own that the super ships would have gotten eaten. Pretty sure. We would have done a lot of damage, but we would have gotten eaten. His fleet? No. They would have just swept him aside. Wouldn't even have been a contest. This one, again, hang on. We have a Voracious, heavy dual turbo lasers, medium quad laser cannons. As soon as they got into range, I think they would have just ripped apart this fleet. And currently, this fleet doesn't do a lot of damage. Actually, we've mostly just got these. Those, I mean, I guess these things, but there's not many of them, you know? Like, that's not superb. I don't think that fleet would have fared well at all. Akbar's fleet, I think, again, it would have come down to the fact that they had so much fighter and bomber coverage overall that he would have done a lot of damage, but he would have had to have gotten out of there way before. So honestly, it really feels like we were capable of doing that because this was a bot's carrier group. Anybody else would have just gotten destroyed. Pretty sure. Which makes me massively thankful that I actually brought him back, because otherwise, like, him especially, well, maybe not especially, I do think the super ships would have done the worst against that fleet. They would have had to have left much sooner. These guys... No, you know what, I take it back. Thinking again about the damage output of this fleet, no. I think this would have actually been the worst one. So yeah, lesson learned. Carrier fleets, really good. Don't sleep on them. Seriously. This isn't even a very good carrier fleet. Like, seriously, look at this. That's not even... These aren't even real carriers. I mean, I guess they have some bombers, but, like... These things seem to be really good. They seem to drop a lot of stuff. I'm not entirely convinced that their numbers are correct, though. For us. Oh, no, you know what? I bet they are. I bet these guys drop the double squadrons of bombers and fighters. I bet that's what it was. Because when I am just looking at them on the field as the fighters come out, I think that doesn't really seem like that many more than we had before. But if they're dropping doubles, that would explain it. And come to think of it, when I was going through targeting subsystems, there was quite a lot of double squadrons, and I don't remember having that many before we had the two Voracious. So yeah, those are good ships. I like them a lot. I suppose what we really should do is split it up into the two different carrier types. The smalls and the larges is what we need to do. That's going to be, I guess not need to do, but that would be the simplest and most straightforward way of splitting up the fleet. Other than just, like, having fleet, you know, one here, 2, 1, probably 3, and then building some more. I could do that, but I don't like to do that because I really do prefer to have fleets that have a distinct identity. So that when we're you know, first of all, this is a very long campaign, and it's going to continue to be very long, so we're going to have many battles, and I don't want it to devolve into every single battle is exactly the same, and that's a big part of the reason why I want all of the fleets, each individual fleet, to have its own distinct identity, so that when we're in a battle with, for example, Akbar, we fight one way. When we're in a battle with a bot, we fight totally different. With, Brand, this is completely different. It fights differently, it maneuvers differently, it can handle different threats. So, over the course of this very long campaign, or any very long campaign, it means that things don't get repetitive. We might be fighting against things that get repetitive at times, especially in the previous version where it was basically just more and more allegiances with occasional interruptions by Maldrude. But it because we have distinct identities to each fleet, it means that things stay relatively fresh. That makes sense. It doesn't become a monotonous slog of the exact same thing every single time. That's something I actually ran into in the Fall of the Republic campaign. The first Fall of the Republic campaign that we did, that was the precursor to this one. We were fighting basically at the end there, for many episodes, we were fighting Lucrehulks. Lots and lots and lots of Lucrehulks. And we were using, honestly, a lot of the times, basically the same fleet layout every single time with very little variation. It was either a Praetor or the other super ship I can't remember the name of in the center, and then other stuff behind it trying to stay alive. And it's a lot of the times devolved into very monotonous feeling battles, and that's something that I really am trying to avoid the feeling of. On the other hand, it is a simple fact that we do need more fleets, and there are only so many different ways that you can slice things up in terms of the actual forces and fleet layouts. So we need to do something. And in this instance, I think it does just make sense logistically and thematically, I guess, to have it split into small carriers and large carriers. And a big difference between the two, in my mind, is that the big carriers can kind of actually fight in a battle directly themselves. The little carriers, these things in particular, these two in particular, really cannot. You can't have them engage the enemy. These things, their range is so low. These things have better range, but it's a little light turbo laser, so like, whatever. That barely counts. So that is a way to kind of differentiate the two fleets, I think. Is having the little carriers requiring some kind of large buffer ship, which actually, aren't one of these carriers? That's kind of a carrier. Yeah, heavy carrier. Maybe long term we do that. But short term, we have something like this to provide the survivability to the fleet. And then the other fleet that has the large carriers doesn't need anything like that, so it can just be the carriers themselves. So, with all of that having been said, I think plan is to split it up kind of like this, and then we need more of these. I'd like to have more. In replying to someone's comment, I don't even remember what it was about. I said that I think it'd be fun to eventually build up a fleet that is like steal everybody's carriers. It's like steal carriers from all of the different factions we fight. These guys apparently have Venators, so that could be cool. Don't know why they have got here. Isn't this Ceruvi? This is Ceruvi. Why do you have not Ceruvi stuff? I just realized. Anyway, point being, yeah, I think that would be fun to build up a carrier fleet that has a bunch of different carriers in it. But if we do that, that'll very quickly fill up a fleet, and we won't be able to use all of them. But if we're splitting things between large and small, that means that we have two different fleets in which to put stuff. So that could be fun. Obviously, this is like super long-term theoretical goals, but it's still something that I'd like to work towards. But in the meantime, more endurances. I'm thinking at least 5. These guys, maybe. These are kind of, I don't know, I'm not super convinced that they should be one or the other. They could kind of be, I don't know. Regardless, lots more defenders. And a home one time. And then we will split the fleet up. I think that's the way to do it. Right. So, with that in mind, we have some credits.
Vehicle in production.
I'm gonna get some started before I forget. Well, to hopefully help me not forget, I guess.